What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 31 in my 14th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. And yeah, we made it. Day number 31. Again, it's a little bit late, but it's still the 31st on the West Coast, so that's what I go with, even though I'm on the East. And yeah, I actually went to the drive-in tonight and watched a couple more Elm Street films. They were showing Part 5, The Dream Child, Part 6, Freddy's Dead, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Left after Freddy's Dead, and yeah, came home and threw on a flick right before midnight to get one last Halloween flick in while it was still technically Halloween. And the film I chose is Satan's Little Helper from the year 2004, directed by Jeff Lieberman, who did the film Squirm and Just Before Dawn. This is coming to us courtesy of Synapse Films. And I gotta say, man, I don't really buy a lot of Synapse these days. They're pretty expensive. I do really want to pick up Deadly Spawn. But this is another really great transfer. Especially for, like, 2004, which I don't know if it was filmed on digital or what, but it looked really good, man. It could also be because, like, the DVD copy I have is old as hell and isn't the best transfer, but I really like the transfer on Satan's Little Helper. So yeah, this movie follows a 9-year-old little boy named Dougie who is obsessed with this really shitty game. Like, I mean, this game looks like ass, dude. He's playing it on, like, some kind of, like, phone or, like, N-Gage, if anybody remembers that thing, or, like, some kind of, like, Nokia or something. And it's this game where you go around as Satan and, like, disembowel people and get points, and then there's God in the game who tries to stop you. And he's just, talking to this game, like, talking about, like, killing people and stuff like that. It's very funny. And he is, driven around by his mom, his little sister, or his big sister, Jenna, is supposed to take him trick-or-treating because it's like a tradition, but she brings home a new boyfriend who Dougie, named Alex, who Dougie really doesn't like. And the character in the video game that he's playing is Satan, and his mom tells him that, Satan doesn't have, like, a tail and pitchfork and stuff all the time, or whatever, and he basically is outside pre-trick-or-treating, and he sees this guy in this, like, almost like grinning, like, demon face mask, basically decorating his yard with, like, actual dead bodies, or what Dougie thinks is maybe his yard, but it's actually just some people he killed. Like, he's, like, putting a body, like, on a bench at the front of the house with, like, a stuffed fake body, and then he's, like, putting another guy, like, in this fake cemetery in the yard, where dude's, like, throat slit or something, and Dougie just thinks that this shit is the coolest, so he starts talking to Satan, and that's probably the funnest aspect of this movie, is watching Dougie talk to Satan, and he is sort of, like, shaking his head like Satan doesn't talk, but he's, like, shaking his head and stuff like that. And the whole time you're kind of wondering, is this, like, just a serial killer in a costume, or is this, like, supernatural? Is this, like, actually the essence of Satan, or, like, what's going on? It's pretty cool. Watching this movie now, like, all these years later, I wouldn't be surprised if Damien Leone, is that his name? The guy that did Terrifier, if he'd ever seen this movie before, because, like, some of the, like, mannerisms and, like, characteristics of Satan remind me a little bit of Art the Clown. Not, like, a ton. Like, Art the Clown took that it's way more animated and big. But just something about this movie kind of reminds me of Terrifier. I don't know. Maybe I would be curious if it was inspired by this at all. But the interactions are so fun. Dougie, who, and it's such like a funny commentary too, because it's like, I think it's supposed to be saying like kids are like, we give kids who are way too young to process things like these violent video games, and they do not understand reality from fiction, and or they think reality is fiction, or vice versa. And it's kind of, I think it's kind of funny too, because it's like, it's so ridiculous. Like if I was 8 years old, I would not be like I understood the difference between movies and real life. But like it's just funny because this kid is so oblivious to like what's going on, and he literally thinks like this is a game. And so he teams up with Satan here, and they go around, and mainly he wants Satan to kill his sister's boyfriend and take him to hell. And but they get into all kind of hijinks and stuff. It's really fun. The only thing I will say about this one is I think it's about 10-15 minutes too long. It runs about an hour and 40. It's 100 minutes. So I think that it's a bit too long. I think I would have liked it tightened up to a 90-minute film. It might be. It might be a little bit much. Like the second half has always like bored me a little bit. Not bored me, but definitely like not as enjoyable as the first half. So that's the one thing I would say about it, is it's almost like a like top tier Halloween movie, and it might still be up there. You know what I mean? But I just feel like it kind of loses steam in the third act a little bit. But overall, I really enjoyed my revisit of Satan's Little Helper. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's actually less like goofy. I mean, it's still kind of goofy, but it's less maybe cheesy than I originally remember it. I've seen it a couple times, but I remember the very first time I watched it, I thought it was really like eye rolly. I don't really feel that way anymore. So, yeah, that is Satan's Little Helper from the year 2004. Pretty fun movie. I'm going to give it like an 8 out of 10. I think it's pretty cool. So, yeah. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the 31 reviews that I produced this October season. I'm finally ready to take a break from that, though. It was getting kind of close there some nights where I was just like rushing to get things done, or like really tired but had to do a review. So, but I always like doing it. It's fun. It's something to look forward to every year. So I appreciate it, guys, and happy Halloween. I hope everybody had a good one, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.